Welcome to Cat the Minion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. Hopefully you can hear me alright over my fan. Gonna have at least a little bit of air moving around here. I was just gagged. This is a weekly overview reading for July 18th through the 24th, 2021, or whenever you feel called to these energies. So these are one stack each for each day. There'll be timestamps in the description box. A lot of the time, if I could talk, it ends up being like a little mini series. So, but even when I was doing card of the day, like individually, I would still get repeater things. So we're looking at this week. We're looking at each day, and typically each day pile will have one card from each of 3 decks. Using my charm bucket instead of a deck. I felt like using the charms again for the weeklies because I just added like 15 new charms to the charm bucket as I was working on making them into sheets to sell online. So there's sample printouts that I was working on. There's 4 sheets total. It's 205 charms, but I made 15 new ones about, and I haven't used them in a reading yet. So I know 1 or 2 of them came out when I was setting up this reading. So the decks that I'm using with those, I've got the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. I've got this focused to about here. Gilded Reverie Lenormand. Shalomel. And the Elemental Hexagons. These guys. Sorry, I'm kind of snuffly. A couple piles have doubles, and the fan keeps trying to blow my stuff off the table. So I think that's it. I'm not that called to go over the astrology for the week. There's some stuff going on, but we'll see if it comes in or not. It's one of those, I just need to stop looking at all the reference sheets for a little bit. And then if you want more of the where the planets are and stuff, I did when I did the monthlies for July, I looked at that more closely. Okay, so we're looking at Sunday. I'm just too snuffly, hold on. That's what I get for taking an allergy pill 2 seconds before starting this. So, Sunday the 18th was the number of the moon on the day of the sun. So potentially some Cancerian energy there, and then we also have the sun itself. Now, I think the sun is moving. Where's my stuff? I keep putting these away and then needing them. The sun is moving from Cancer into Leo at some point. I think this week. On the 22nd. So we have a little preview of that here. The Anchor inverted, 9 of Swords inverted, number 35, breaking down to 8. So the Anchor. And it's like, I get more like someone feels uprooted than they feel like more uprooting than feeling like freedom, like detaching from what I know. On the other hand, this detachment, it's not like, it's like I'm not setting sail, but I'm gonna let the universe let me drift, because I'm really getting 6 of Cups. No, Six of Swords. Yeah, I'm getting a Six of Swords energy with this. I don't know why I couldn't get that right. For me, Six of Swords is usually sailing away from the bullshit, but the other download I've gotten for that recently is an alternate meaning is it's like it's like in Contact, in the movie Contact, where Jodie Foster, she's like, I'm okay to go, and the ship is like shaking her brains out, and then when she unbuckles her little seatbelt there and just lets herself float in the middle of the ship, essentially pulling up the anchor, she's allowed to she just kind of floats in this space. And that's what happens with this alternate Six of Swords energy, is you stop fighting the current and the universe carries you the rest of the way to your destination. So we have aluminum, new technology, number 13, with cobalt 27, evil spirit / radiotherapy, strength and structure. This is, the idea of strength and structure together is giving me temperance. 13 and 27 makes 30, that's 3 completions, but also the number of the Empress. And then I add to that the 5 to get this 35 of the anchor, and it's giving me like a shift or a pivot, right? It's like the boat is turning on the tide. But this cobalt, evil spirit or radiotherapy, it's one of those things where it's like it can, in theory, it could be curative, but in a certain preparation or a certain dosage, it can be toxic. And with structure, it's like I can combine this with other materials to make something more durable, or I can like have it raw and it'll eat away at it like acid. And so the charms, I have a shield, which seems to go with radiotherapy, right? With shielding. I have a cake. I'm going to put that with the anchor. I have the masculine figure. I have the generic figure in a crosswalk. It's sort of like green light go. We have the fish here, which seems to go with the anchor. I have the top hat, something fancy. And inverted, I have the Polaroid. It came out face down. For me, the Polaroid, what's this picture? I think it's just a scribble, but it kind of looks like a person with the kangaroo, which is another charm that I've got. The Polaroid for me is like I'm able to review stuff from my past as soon as it happens. It's like, oh, I just did something and I'm going to avoid dealing with the consequences for a long time. But when it's upright, it's like, oh, I see what I've been doing, and I'm like reviewing my experience and behavior. I'm processing what I've been through right away. This is, I'm not processing anything. I'm going to let it sit inside me and build up like toxin. So we'll put that with cobalt. Right, it's like I'm protecting myself from myself. I only want the sweet stuff. But if I want to pull a rabbit out of this hat, if I want some kind of new manifestation, I have to have this sort of death cycle transformation where I, first of all, allow my emotions, fish, to process. And this could also be abundance, especially if I'm using the Lenormand. Right? It's like I have enough resources. I have enough processing emotional resources to to finally stop blocking myself and take that first step, that pivot, that 5. And we see here that this is happening for a masculine energy. Everybody has both. So if your masculine is distorted, if your ego is saying, we're in masculine energy doesn't feel stuff, then that's going to eat away at you, and your feelings won't be able to be tempered into your manifestation in a way that makes what you're pulling out of the hat stronger. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. 9 of Swords inverted becomes 9 of Cups, which is a dream card, half of the moon, 18. This is kind of like waking up from a stupor, right? If you got like smoke poisoning or food poisoning or something, especially with this cake here, right? Too much sugar, now I'm sick. There's a recovery period, and then you wake up and you're like, one day you wake up, illumination from the night, and then you feel better. But this is about letting go of control, opening the chest, right, pulling up the anchor on, it's like you've taken all your feelings and given them cement shoes and dropped them into the ocean. This is like we're dredging, right? We're pulling up the Titanic, and you have to look at it. And this is for masculine energy. The masculine right here. Not that the feminine can't do it, or women, female presenting oriented people can't do this, but this is happening in masculine energy. It's a distortion of avoiding, trying to shield yourself from processing by just shutting off feelings altogether until they eat away at your insides. Unhelpful. So the release is like pulling up the anchor, and then you can float over the surface of the feelings, and the universe will guide you on the vibration. Alright, so we're looking at Monday, the moon day, with 19, the number of the sun. Alright, so we can see this sort of, it's like a light switch flipping back and forth, because the sun is getting ready to move out of Cancer and into Leo. So we have 6. This is the clouds with the King of Wands. Okay, so the clouds is like obfuscation, things that are obscured. And then where the card is pointing is where the illumination is coming in. And I see the clouds as relating to the moon, the night, and this daybreak is like it's coming up. Right? Leo is having a little bit of like a storminess of existing in Cancer, the ruler of the tides. And we see this King of Wands inverted, possibly having anger issues. What the hell was that? There was like a shot or like a heavy slam. Somebody's banging on something. There's like a rage, like an anger, coming from this king of being stuck in this planetarily prescribed emotional review. Right, we see that this relief is having a hard time pushing the clouds away. So I've got a battle axe. This is one of the brand new ones with the rhino. Right, that's that anger. It's like can also be turning on a dime, could also be possibly misunderstanding. But with the battle axe, it's like I see the axe shape and the horn shape, and it's like it's kind of like I'm cutting something out, I'm chopping it down, but I'm angry. I'm in attack mode. Like, I'm just trying to do my thing here and exist, and all of a sudden something's creeping up on me, and I gotta, like, turn around and, like, her! Like, it's like attack first, ask questions later. And we have phosphorus, a fork in the road. So this is judgment. And it's part of the suit in this deck called the metaphysical world, and it's says hell on it. It's like in this situation, this King of Wands is sort of in their own emotional hell, having not faced feelings, wanting every day to kind of be a sunny day. It's like being forced to take the other path into the storm is creating this like rage, this like rawr, I need to like it's like man yells at cloud. It's like the King of Wands is trying to work through the feelings just by like slicing at them with an axe, by stabbing it with their face. And we see 15 here, the number of the devil. It's like, why isn't it working? I see 6 inverted. 6 is the number of the lovers. It's healing. It's a choice. It's like you have no choice. You have to take the other path because the one that you've been on isn't creating any release from a toxic pattern. It's like the only way to through the maze, the only way to the end of Candyland is to go through the storm feelings, and you have to actually experience the thunder and the lightning and the rain. You can't just chop at it with a battle axe. It doesn't. You can't just hack up the feelings to pieces and be like, I hate these feelings, I'm gonna kill them, and be done with it. You have to actually get in there. Now this could be for a distorted masculine because of this king here, but this is a little bit less specific. The king just means specifically out of balance, breaking down to a 5, which is something that's being shifted, something that's pivoting, right? The rhino turns on a dime. It has to, like, you've been going down this path, and then now you have to go this way. There is no choice in healing. You can't avoid it any longer. Okay, so we're looking at Tuesday, Mars energy, number 20, which could be judgment. A lot of fire action. So I had a double with these Lenormand cards. We have the Flowers inverted, Queen of Swords inverted. This is a 9, but I'm seeing the 6 on here, and it's really standing out to me as a 6. Bouquet of flowers. And the 20. So we get 20 on 20 with the 8 of Swords. Swords and Swords. This is like a botanical garden. It's like a public meeting place. I don't remember what the card is called exactly, but the general idea is the public meeting place. A park, I guess it's called. Botanical garden. So 8 of Swords energy, mental prison. Look at this. Someone is not getting... It's like someone's not bringing me something. Like, you don't bring me flowers anymore. And they've been in this sort of fantasy that's ended up being a prison. It's like the fantasy and the reality aren't matching. It's like, I want love, I want healing, but it's like, what in this healing zone means that I'm not getting any, like, contact. And I wanted to say, I almost said commitment. So someone it's like my image of love is commitment, and it's not matching up to my ideal. This ideal is creating a prison, and I'm waiting and waiting, and nobody's coming. The Queen of Swords is like, it's like, it's like, it kind of reminds me of Marissa Tomei in My Cousin Vinny. She's like, I want a wedding with flowers, like, and guests, and da 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 da. And then it's like the way this case is going, we ain't never getting married. My biological clock is ticking like this, and da 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 da. You know, and then at the end, he finally wins the case, and she's like, you can't win a case by yourself, you're fucking useless. You know, like, I don't want to get married to you anyway. And I think she was joking, obviously, but I mean, she's still being kind of a bitch about it. This is that Queen of Swords energy. Like, you need to bring me flowers on this day. It's Valentine's Day. Where's my ring? Where's my jewelry? You didn't mow the lawn. Like, you're supposed to rub my feet. Where's my gifts? Where's my this? Where's my that? And it's like, it's the lack of that in reality is glaringly different than the vision of this, you know, Romeo and Juliet kind of garden lovers tryst kind of place. I know, it's like, where's the rose petals leading and candles and stuff? Well, the reality is, who's going to clean up all that shit? Are you going to clean it up? So we have osmium, 76, endurance. We have a pyramid here. I don't get this card very often, but osmium makes me think of bones. Like the bare bones. And we see that even this pyramid is down to the bare bones because the casing stones have all been lifted. Right? It's like the finish on the monument has been pilfered to create other things. So we have a snowman. It's like, do you want to build a snowman? Maybe the snowman's built out of those casing bricks and it's actually limestone and not just frozen water. Frosty the Snowman. So inverted, I have this match flame, which is one of my Ace of Wands, but it's inverted. I'm going to put it upside down so I know that it came out inverted. Also inverted, I have what is supposed to be a wolf, but I think in this case it's going to be coyote. So my drawing is kind of crappy, so it could be either. Alright, so we have coyote inverted. I just heard this is not a game. Like match game set, like tennis. And then we have a castle, which makes me think of the Four of Wands usually. But here I heard court, like a castle, like a court, like a nobility. So match game court set. And I was like, what does the snowman have to do with tennis? Oh, I just heard straw man. Oh, I don't have a scarecrow. I should have a scarecrow charm. I'm going to do an expansion pack, which I will probably do at some point when my list is large enough. I can make a straw man. A scarecrow charm. I don't think I have a crow charm either. I've got a lot of other birds though. Okay. The court is still there, and this straw man idea is still there. The straw man melts when the illumination becomes too intense. When the heat comes up, this premise of, especially because this is coming from a distorted feminine, right? He's supposed to do this, he's supposed to do that, he didn't do that, he didn't do that, right? It's like it's like a bridezilla kind of energy where it's like it has to be this, it has to be that, it has to be this, it has to be that, it has to be perfect, and he's not doing that. And it's like your distortion is creating your own mental prison, and you might think it looks nice, but it's like there's nothing left in reality. It's a motorcycle of this sort of the edifice, right? The facing. Like the distortion is wearing down the monument of what a relationship would be. It's whittling away at it. And it's like, this isn't a game at this point, right? There's no tricks being played by the universe to try to get you to step up. It's like if you want to hold court with someone, you shouldn't be like cheating at a game, right? It's like you don't have all the points at the beginning of a game, and here the game is like a soul contract. You don't just win by declaring that you want the other person to give you all the points. You have to earn them by virtue of an interaction, right? They hit the ball over, you hit the ball over. They hit the ball over, you hit the ball over. You have to give something back to the other person for them to keep giving back something to you. And at this point, the universe is like, this isn't a trick, right? You need to understand what creates your own flame, what is true in your core. You can't expect someone to light your hearth fire for you every time. You have to generate some kind of energy on your own. And that is where this 20 comes in, this judgment, right? It's like healing by virtue of, it's like here it's coming in not as the lovers or as a choice. It's coming in as, it's not coming in as healing. It's not coming in as the lover specifically. The 6 here is I choose to believe this or behave in this way, but it's creating this loop of the mental prison where it's like, this is what I expect, and I'm not getting what I expect. But it's creating this feedback loop where, again, this like straw man thing where it's not a reality. You've built up this idea of what the man is supposed to be, right? But under any illumination or scrutiny, it just melts away. But here's this court. This could be the 4 of Wands. It could be that stability. It could be the 4 corners of the pyramid. And there's an endurance and a strength here. It's like even when you take away the fancy stuff, I need the flowers and the jewelry and the dinner and the romancing and all that crap. When you take the casing stones away from the monument of the relationship, what endures is like it's like the gravity of it itself. And here gravity is like intensity. Right? Why is it strong? Because it's a tetrahedron. Why is it strong? Because it has the 4 corners, right? The ball is being sent back and forth. Every corner of the court is getting some action. It's getting energy fed into it. It's creating a stronger base. I've mapped out more of the court. So now if I put something there, it's going to start coming towards a common point. Additionally, here a pyramid is representative of a mountain. And it's the struggle is to realize that it's not necessarily a materialism. It's not the stuff, right? It's not the stuff that dreams are made of. 76 breaks down to 13, which is death, cycle, transformation, release. The pyramid also has a mystical quality, right? It has the relationship of pi, which has to do with a circle, which has to do with roundness, which is usually thought of as potentially as the feminine energy, but it's a completion, it's a cycle, it's representative of a hemisphere of the earth. What is the earth without the sky? What is this without that? There's this idea of fluctuation, but also of a stillness and something that endures over time. And it doesn't endure if there's always a disappointment that the fantasy isn't lived up to. And the thing is, if the ruler is a tyrant, the court will revolt. Alright, so that's enough for that day. I don't need to beat that dead horse anymore. I'm gonna stop this and do another section in a second. Okay. So we're looking at the 21st. Ow, my back. Okay. The last day of the sun in Cancer. So we have mercurial energy, Quicksilver. Where's Mercury at this point? I'm not supposed to do that much astrology, but Mercury's also in Cancer. Okay. We have chitter chatter, the birds. There's a season, turn. 7 of Pentacles. Oh, okay. Patience. There's a season, turn, a time for everything under heaven, blah, blah, blah. What are the other songs that the birds do? I have 3 songs by them, but I can't remember what the other ones are. The birds is usually gossip, like a house of cards. But here I'm getting, specifically with this 7 of Pentacles, impatience. And the birds are sort of this, like, nagging irritation demons, I guess. Like your ego, it's taking too long, it's not going to happen. You're stupid anyway, why are you even trying to do this? Or it's your inner child, are we there yet? So in Charms, I have this cat caught in the blinds from the meme. I cannot brain today, I have the dumb. Cats and birds, interesting. No, I was going to say cat scratch fever, but Ted Nugent's an asshole and I don't want to mention his stuff. Stray cat strut, there, that's a better one. Although I don't know how reasonable those people are. So then I have this beach umbrella, the blanket and the beach ball. Like the Beach Boys. Put this over here. It's creating a scene. It's like a child having a tantrum, creating a scene. Breaking stuff for attention, and then being like, oh, I tripped. A little bit of gaslighting. But this also makes me think of that bridge between Cancer and Leo, right? The sun with the water. Right? It's a nice day to go swimming. What's swimming? It's the ocean. But I don't want to get wet. And we have Fluorine, number 9. Paranoia. The Hanged Man. Right? When's it going to happen? I can't figure it out. You know, I'm fussy. I'm having an emotional splashy. It's like I don't want to feel anything. I want it what I want when I want it. 9. Paranoia. That's giving me 9 of swords. But it's saying the Hanged Man, which is Neptunian energy. That's like I'm going in the dunk tank and I don't want to get wet. Like somebody's throwing the beach ball and it's hitting the thing and the cat gets dropped into the tank. It was like, it was sunny out. Why am I wet? It's also like the situation room. I was like, why isn't this happening? It feels like people are planning against me. And all I want is for the thing that I'm waiting for to happen so I can go and relax. But I feel like I'm up my own ass waiting for stuff to happen and I don't know what's going on. I don't think there's any real resolution, but notice how there's a bunch of birds here and there's a bunch of seats in the situation room table, right? The fluorine. And 1219 is 21, it's a world. 9, 7, 16 is a tower. Chaos. Looking at other people, because this can be social media with these birds in particular, looking to other people, having other people tell you who you are, what you are, when you're doing it, comparing yourself to where other people are in their lives, is what causes this frustration and impatience. There has to be kind of an illumination of your intuition here, not necessarily feelings. Intuition, the currency, to be in flow with the universe, to co-create, to stop trying to force the universe to do things, and to sit and let the energy you've pushed out start to roll into a big snowball, and to not compare the timing of the manifestation to what everyone else is doing and to some deadline that's supposed to be there. All right. I just heard like step by step, day by day, bit by bit, one way or another, blah, blah, blah. So we're looking at Thursday, Jeudi, Jupiter energy, which retrograde in Pisces until the 28th. Okay. It's also fire energy that's gone soggy. So we have the ship inverted, 10 of Swords inverted. This is like you don't have much longer to go. The pain, the pain of the journey, like the tight muscles, the sore ankles, the sand grinding into your feet and your sneakers is, you know, your sore back from riding the horse 3,000 miles. This pain is starting to slip away as the journey comes to a close. There's this, like, finally out of the horse latitudes kind of energy. No longer adrift at sea. There's a rescue boat coming. I can see it. We have the woman here, the feminine. Ace of Swords inverted. So I have 3, and then I have 29, which breaks down to 11. Which breaks down to 2, 11 swords inverted. Also inverted, this Nautilus. And it's making me think of, I believe it's called an ammonite. Right? It's no longer in the water. It's fossilized. It's petrified. First I was afraid I was petrified. This is like, I fear the truth because I don't want to. It's like, I don't want what I feel, I don't want what I've felt in the past to be the truth. It was like my head up my ass. Which is probably why the 10 of Swords, right? Because that would hurt a lot. So we have 10, Jupiter energy. Number 50, a preserver. The structural world. This is Altoid's 10 over here. Big red freshness lasts right through it. Wait. Say goodbye a little longer. Was it make it last through with more freshness? That's big red. I can't remember. It's been a while since I heard that jingle. She's got red. This is red. And this has the spot indicative of red. Something to do with the... Oh, I was going to say something to do with the root chakra, but that would be grounding. Something that's not grounded. 3, 29, and 50 with this Nautilus inverted. So we've got movement to crawling. These need to be switched. It's the tin. Rattling in an old tin can, a submarine. This is weird. It's giving me a past life, which would explain the Nautilus too, like an ammonite. This is like a specific past life popping up into the ether. Although it would be true for a bunch of people because there was a lot, but someone waiting for their love to come back from a long journey drowned in a submarine. Like an exploded U-boat or allied submarine. Or even like a naval destroyer. And there could be adult people who were killed in battle as late as the Gulf War in the 90s. So I'm sure, I mean, being in the Gulf, there must have been some kind of ships involved, whether they were surface ships or submarines. I don't know, because I was still really little then, but certainly back into the Cold War, and especially World War II, you would have... sorry, I'm yawning. You would have had submarines and stuff like that. Rattling in an old tin can. Underwater airstrike. And I just heard Janis Joplin, a woman left lonely. It's just a victim of a man. Of her man. Something, simple conversation, she'll do the best that she can. So there is an old wounding of... And it's also like never found out the truth. It was like somebody... It's like somebody got ghosted, but it wasn't like they stopped talking to me. It's like they were literally dead. Dead in the water. Now that can be very specific to somebody's past life situation, but it can also be a template, right? It can be metaphorical, right? It could be, this relationship was dead in the water, you ghosted me, I never got the truth, what happened? Like, hey, what happened? But there's something, it was like the nature, like the fire itself the arrows, the Cupid's arrow was snapped into a little tin and put away in the crawl space underneath the building. Could go back and dig it up later. This 50 here is 5 completions. It could be like literally something 50 years ago, or something, or like 1950. 5 completions ago. 5 cycles of some sort. It's kind of weird and specific too. It's not 5 weeks ago though. It could be 5 years. But I feel like there's an emotional time span, whether it's a reality years or not. There's like 50 lifetimes, 50 cycles, 50 years, 50 weeks, like 50 fortnights, like maybe, and it's like 50 months. It's like something that feels like a long time. Could be 10 years. Could be 11 years. It could be 20, almost 30 years ago. It's just a long time. A long time coming, and the change is going to come. But in general, it's like this a feminine energy that's sort of in the dark about something that's going on. 3, the Empress number, this extreme pain and this long journey is about to be over. This is like the whatever sunken battleship is like rising to the, it's like floating to the top. It's is that what it's, so they float a ship, like a sunken ship, they float it? Isn't that what it's called? I don't think it's dredge, because dredge is more like scraping the bottom of the river, of the lake. There's something about a spiral structure. There's like a universal pattern. Right? It's like each little turn is like a huge monumental step, but when you get to a certain point in the journey, the final step is a huge one. Right? Think about the distance between Mars and Jupiter. But what is Jupiter? It's luck. 5 wheels. This is really obscure, though. It's weird. I'm gonna get some more charms, because that'll make the most sense. Just kind of grabbed a handful. What's over here? So the sousaphone, the Tesla coils. Right, there's a resonance between the two people. Here it would appear that the masculine is the one that's missing. So you have a vending machine. Not sure what that means yet. You have an angel. We have the message in a bottle. Now this is like a lost at sea kind of energy too, right? Where's this universal message coming in? We have a calendar, right? Many months, many years maybe. We have the telephone, and here it's the old phone, right? The rotary phone. This is like the communication hasn't come through in a long time. It's antiquated. And we have the pyramid, which came out in the previous day. A hurdle, a mountain, some kind of ancient information, something to do with the structure of the universe and the earth itself and the planets and all that. Geometric. And then we have this narwhal. So the narwhal is one of my Ace of Swords, but it exists in the water, which is here. I have to go into the water to find the truth. What it into? It's not in here. It's not into my emotions. It's into the Akashic records. Basically, I need the resonance. I need the frequency. I need the psychic waters, and we see those here in between the two entities, the masculine and the feminine. To say that Jupiter should be a masculine energy. So inverted, I have this tree. I just heard gumball machine. So this here, the vending machine, is specifically gumball, but why? Inverted, I have the speakers. Something's not being amplified. And didn't I said red, I said it's a root, there's no grounding. Here, the tree uprooted, no grounding. The resonance, the frequency between that connects the two parties psychically is not being amplified. We have the ant. This ant is inverted, right? There's no groundwork. So, waste paper basket inverted. It's like I need to, like, in here it's like I'm cleaning out the crawl space. I'm dumping out everything all this garbage. And some of it might end up being, some of that trash might be treasure. So we have this coffee inverted. Travel coffee. I have this dress inverted, so something not being addressed. You have the cow inverted. Taurian energy is actually making me think of the Hierophant instead of the Empress. There's a lack of faith, there's a lack of union. I'm not sure what the travel cup is doing there. I have this fox inverted. It's sort of a sleepy fox, which might be why there's coffee nearby, right? It's sort of like this, it's not just sunken, it's like in a deep, deep slumber. It's like Sleeping Beauty, this connection. But this inverted fox, slightly suspicious. In the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, the fox is supposed to be representative of like monogamy and deep, long-standing, committed relationships. But here, it's like this, it's like a dormant volcano, and here the pyramid would be like the volcano. But it may as well just be a mountain. It may as well just be a huge sculpture. It's not doing anything. There's no movement. There's no eruption. It's the gumball. It's like, it's hard to chew on, and there's no nourishment, and there's a lot of air. There's a lot of just like thinking about it back and forth, and never getting any nourishment and never being able to swallow it. To the point where ruminating about it too long can even make your face ache. With this angel here, it's like there's higher dimensional beings, your guides, your higher selves, that are involved in sort of overcoming the pain of the past life. It very much looks like a past life connection instead of just, a bunch of shit that happened earlier. Because even if there's like some really heavy shit that happened earlier in this life, it's kind of like the past life script got worked into that, right? It's like this life is based on this old story. Like The Lion King is based on Macbeth. But we're not talking about Macbeth and Queen Bitchface. We're talking about Simba and Scar and Mufasa. Right? The past life pattern has an effect on this life scenario. What's another one? Trying to think of another one that I can think of. I mean, you could even say something like The Parent Trap would be based on the princess and the prince and the pauper, right? People that look alike that switch places. I can't think of any more right now, but you get the idea. There's a universal pull to overcome deeply traumatic battle and separation anxiety from a past life with someone that's created problems in the now. And it could even be going back as like the Spanish Armada getting sunk off the coast of England. Right? It doesn't necessarily have to be specifically World War II. The pyramid, it could go back to Egypt. And Pharaoh's army getting swallowed up by the sea because of the volcano. So we have Friday, the 23rd, Venus energy, and we have the compass. So this is an extended deck card, which puts it into the major arcana. 42 breaks down to 6, which is the lovers, but it could also be the high priestess and the emperor, right? I'm gaining some kind of mystical guidance in my dominion of the material world. Oops, I just moved the camera. Make sure I'm still focused. There's my stuff. I guess that's alright. Kinda. The compass. Direction. Where's my tom-tom? And we have magnesium. There's some bones there too. Skeleton and skin, number related to 13, the death card, even though it's number 12 here. This is like the Hanged Man, number 12. But it's making me think of Father Time, right? It's like Father Time buried underground, sleeping for eternity. And people are like, what's that? Oh, it's just a dead body, like whatever. A reanimation. Skeleton and skin. It's giving me horse latitudes, like we're gonna die out here if we can't get home. So we have a microphone. Somebody's got something to say. Better to burn out than to fade away. So we have this Erlenmeyer flask. Science, bitches. We have the elephant, who is possibly sleeping, but also perhaps in deep thought. Oh, I just heard elephantine, like the island. We have the iron frying pan. We have the, oh, come on. I have the reading glasses. Like, I'm having a hard time seeing the map. I have the record player, the turntable. That with the microphone. I got 2 turntables and a microphone. And I can't remember the rest of that song right now. It's Beck. At your beck and call. So inverted, I have the halo. The penguin came inverted. Yeah. Inverted the necklace. I'll put that with this. Inverted the wheel. Down here with these other back-ass words charms. And also inverted the bunny rabbit. Now, this is the way that I drew this rabbit. It could very easily be the rabbit from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the killer rabbit. Right? Run away! Run away! Penguin is cold, but it's out of its element. Like, you're out of your element, Donnie. Especially because I think magnesium is an element. Element. Element science. Chemistry. I blew up my chemistry set. That rabbit's dynamite. The holy hand grenade of Antioch. It's like, I don't know which way I'm going, but I sure know where I've been. It's White Snake. Two turntable and a microphone. The necklace here, this necklace, let me hold it up again. Usually when I see this, I think of Ursula. Right? She steals Ariel's voice. She tries to fuck her over by becoming Vanessa. And she's wooing Eric by using Ariel's voice. But it's only a recording. Right? She's lip syncing into that microphone. It's not really her voice. What is the science? What does the science say? And also, a frying pan. This is like a Bunsen burner down here. And the penguin is not only is like something out of its element, but in terms of the science, it's like the compass. It could be global warming. Halo and the wheel are similar, but they're both inverted. It's like something to do with the karmic wheel, and I'm lower. My vibration is lower. Right, I'm losing energy. I've lost my divinity in some way. I'm in a smaller electron shell. I'm not all the way out here. It's like I'm not, it's a bigger atom. I don't know, I'm not magnesium, I'm only hydrogen. I've only got this many my electron shell is little. Like I've dropped my frequency. I'm not out here, I'm only here. That's what this is. Radioactive decay. Huh. Radioactive. That's the King of Swords. There's like... The elephant is like the third eye. It's the two halves of the brain working together. It's like I remain in a lower vibration where I am reactive to energies coming into me. And I have a hard time navigating I have a hard time choosing the direction that I'm going. Because I feel like I can't read the map. Like I'm blinded by like how the heat of the situation. Every time I try to go into a different environment, I try to mix different elements together to turn my situation into a different way. It always seems to like blow up in my face. you know, and I feel like I'm repeating, like, I feel like I'm repeating stuff out that isn't really what I want to say. You know, it's like what I want to, when I want to say what I want to say, the microphone isn't on. It's like I'm only allowed to regurgitate other people's voices. And, you know, it's like when I try to cook something up, it ends up in some kind of a meltdown. And then I feel I have to go through this death cycle over and over again. And it could be, you know, stuck on this karmic wheel. I'm bound to a lower vibrational incarnation over and over again. But here's the hangman. It's like in my dreams, I have these nightmares where I'm dying. I am going through an emotional, psychological death over and over again. And I'm trying to I'm trying to get in touch with my third eye, this elephant, and it's like I feel like there's no luck on my side. I can't seem to, you know, get both of my legs pedaling at the same time to like roll anywhere on my penny farthing. I should have one of those too. I don't have very many different vehicles, to be honest. So it's an awareness of the toxicity of trying to combine what's around you. Right? It's like, well, let me go hang out with these people. Well, this mix isn't working. Let me go hang out with these people. This mix isn't working. Let me go hang out with these people. This is not working either. And, you know, it's like going from the hopping out of the pan into the fire. And everything just kind of ends up feeling like acid or like chewing your face off or something like that. It's never the reward that you want. And here, notice even that this is trying to be a death cycle, but it's not completed because it doesn't get past that, doesn't go through the number 13 to end up being over. It just kind of loops back around in this endless cycle, which is why the wheel isn't going anywhere. It's like the compass, the gyroscope is broken. It's just spinning out of control, like being stuck in the Bermuda Triangle. It's like, am I even reading this right? What the fuck? All right, so Friday, Venus Day, sort of realizing what the problem is. What is the blockage to completing the death cycle in order to, like, wake up out of a nightmare, basically. All right, let's look at Friday. I'm going to start another section. No, that was Friday. This is Saturday. 24. Notice on Friday had this card 42, and now it's on Saturday, it's being, if I could talk, it's being flipped around. Now it's 24, but it's still that same number of the High Priestess, the Emperor, combining to 6 the Lovers, or choice, or healing. So we have 43, which is one after that other card. This is the Labyrinth. So, referring back to Friday, if somebody's just skipping around the days here with the timestamps, the general idea for the 23rd was, I keep trying to work with other people and it ends up backfiring, and I end up just, it's like I lose myself in order to blend in with other people, then I lose my voice. Here it's like I'm all by myself, stuck in this crap, and even though a lot of people are ending up towards the same goal, which is, you know, wanting to feel like you're expressing yourself, like you're having growth, and so on and so forth, right? The Tootsie Roll center of the Tootsie Pop over here with this gilded gazebo thing. this Fabergé egg on a stand over here. But the thing is, in this labyrinth, people can see each other, right? It's like if you're not as interested in blending in with the crowd, you might have a more synchronistic moment where someone that you need to move forward on your journey will suddenly look up at the same time as you do, and you'll make eye contact, and it'll be easier to pick them out of the crowd, even though you're sort of lost in the way more, than if you just tried to find a different group of friends so you wouldn't be alone. Right? It's like no soul is an island, but you can do a certain amount by yourself without having to be with other people in order to maintain this synchronistic approach to the universe where your voice isn't being canceled out, where your growth isn't being stunted, and you can still move around, and occasionally you'll encounter someone that has a message for you. But you're not going to encounter a message is if you got so many people cackling around you like a, like a flock of seagulls, and then all of a sudden all you say is mine, 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 like you're a seagull too. You're not going to be able to have that interchange. Speaking of which, Xenon, Noble Gas, Stranger Light and Empathy. Right? This is the chance meeting, you've got something for me. And here it's like, I feel like a child. Like, mommy, help me, I'm lost. And this other person comes in with some kind of guidance, and it feels like a bigger, higher dimensional energy because it's been opened up to, right? So 43 to 54, notice how it's like a jump of 11. It's in the next energy level when you're able to kind of pull the weeds out of your garden so that the only you're not choking your own energy, basically. So we have the shark. This is those suppressed emotions that'll swim around and ankle bite you. Right? It's like a threat that you'd rather avoid. And then we have stick a fork in me, I'm done. This is like 10 of Swords with the shark. And then we have the bent and slightly saucy goose here. Right? Honk, honk, motherfucker. These cards are all... These charms are all in a sort of negative phase, and are essentially what I was talking about at the beginning of this little mini spread here for this day. This is the emotional content, the sort of destruction, this like, I don't want to be forced to do something I don't want to do, like, I'm tired of wrangling all these geese. Let me go deal with my own deep emotions. Let me change the battery because it died right when I said that. I literally had like 2 minutes left to go on this too, but oh well. It's like, let me stop having this goose of what everyone else says and does chase me around and bite me on the ass, and then let me go deal with my own emotional issues instead of everyone else's constant reactive BS, because it's not helping me. I'm so done with everyone else and their crap, where I'm not being able to go through to address my emotional needs, right? Perpetual motion, primal hunger, right? There's something lurking in me that's not satisfied, and the only way to do that is to focus in on myself and flow with the universe and let whoever I need come in, so that I'll be more receptive to aligned interactions instead of just whatever is popular. right? I don't want to be, I don't want to be the most popular goose in the marsh. I want to be my own self. I want to have an identity. I want to get one more card for this. 25, Ace of Wands, right? I want to be myself. That's the core, right? Ace of Wands, that's the confidence in myself. It's my solar plexus. It's my gut feeling. It's my modus operandi. Here, it's just a commitment to myself. 25, breaking down to 7, which is the Chariot, right? There's finally movement. And then the 2, High Priestess, with the Hierophant 5, I'm connecting to the energies of the universe. I'm getting the downloads. And 5, I have faith in myself. I have confidence in myself. I'm committed to myself. Moving forward. Okay. So that's the week. It's a long one. I don't know why they're so long. If you want to get a personal reading, love readings, I have a past life reading now too. It's the newest one. I have incoming people, outgoing people, blockages, relationship, past life, twin flame, union of opposites, and a couple other different readings that I have not mentioned. So all of those are going to be, I just spit on the camera, all those are going to be listed in the description box underneath here, with the prices, and also on my craptastic little website in green. That's all of this stuff here is through the Linktree, linktr.ee/cattheminion. You can email me if you want a reading. It's PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo, and also those if you want to energy exchange, hit that tip jar, donate. And then I have coloring books, dark poetry, merch and prints and actual art items over here on Etsy. So if you are enjoying these charms and you want your own set, you can download the PDF and print them out and cut them out on the paper of your choosing, or you can mount them to something. Though it's over on Etsy. I have 2 printed sets that I made that are proof sets, and those are for sale. Those are actually printed out already, but you still have to cut them out, and there's some extra stuff in there too. So that's on Etsy. 3*17, 17% off a purchase of 3 or more items. So I've got drawings, stuffed animal, paintings, a couple of etchings, plushies, chapbook packs, and I've got template for making these, and I've got the new this week, the PDF for the charms that you can print out yourself. I think that's it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.